Hello there and welcome to another live chapter reading for Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Today I shall be reading from Master Botosoni, A Dark Vampire Romance, Masters of the Consulate, Book 9 by Sylvia Black. Chapter 1, Botosoni. The bar is loud, filled with modern-day pipes and music that draws a crowd on a late Saturday night. The long-legged blonde on stage holds the attention of every red-blooded male in the club, both vampires, humans and shifters alike. Every single day one of us is the same when it comes to a female who looks like that and is dressed in the skimpiest of wrap, barely disguising even the tiniest detail of her exquisitely shaped physique. The graceful dancer turns on her stilted heels and bends, giving everyone sitting on the edge of their seats an upended view of her ass and a glimpse of the red string of her little panties. She tosses her long mane of blonde hair as she comes back up, flashes me a bright white smile and gives me a wink. I tilt the scotch glass in the air and give her a half smile. News travels fast in these parts, and when the vampire master of the region purchases the largest piece of land between Ukraine and Moldova and plans for a 13-bedroom, 16-bathroom home had been submitted to the city, people take notice. My jaw tightens with irritation. I haven't changed a bit since last week and have the same amount of money in the bank. Yet since word got out that I have that kind of money in the coffers, I haven't had a minute of peace from anyone, especially the females, who seem to be coming out of the woodwork. Money talks. Grim, frustrating and annoying, but true. Claiming the land of the vampire's heritage feels good, and I'll continue to buy it all before I'm through. It's a soothing balm amidst all the chaos and with the rogue vampires and the shifters who want to send us back to a time when we were feared and staked for taking innocent souls in our bloodthirsty quest. The rogue vampires should be careful who they mess with, because the righteous purebloods, without taking 1 ounce of tainted blood, are a force to be reckoned with now. They'll learn that the hard way in the very near future. As soon as we find the fuckers, and we will soon, then this war they started centuries ago will be put to an end for good. Overmaster Descalia feels it too. The same reason that he just purchased a large piece of property in Transylvania, Romania, just over 5 hours south, and why Roman started the property grabs with his purchase of land in Bucharest. All around his vast estate and the surrounding Carpathian mountains, where werewolves, witches and vampires still may roam freely around the range. We're taking over the properties little by little, ensuring century to century that we have a larger impact, more respectability, and above all, that we maintain the power of the underworld and our leverage with the humans who are critical to ensuring our business ventures and the world remains stellar and, most importantly, profitable. Master Orodea won't be far behind me with his estate plans, set to build his estate on the largest piece of property on the western border. Devora and her witches may have been laying low, but we all know that land that we claim and they claim will always be a source of contention. It's just a matter of when and where the fight will ensue over the area we both call ours. But the day is coming, and the masters are preparing to fight. All for the power and control of the rogues' field was taken away when Overmaster Descalia started gathering the purebloods and convincing them of a better way of life, one that's free from attacking and snacking on humans as they walk down the street, one that allowed us to prosper as the fear of being attacked was diminished, and assimilating to the respected purebloods we are today, working hard, supporting our communities and giving back through charitable contributions and the like. The vampires have prestige, money and power, and now we'll have land too, no matter how it's earned, working hand in hand with the syndicate, dividing up work, territories and business divisions in a way that profits us all, and some legitimate but all invested well. The rogues have managed to rock that relationship with the syndicate elders. But fortunately, at the end of the day, the only thing that will matter is the alignments that make the most profit. And it will be us, not the fucking rogue vampires or the mangy shifters who work hand in hand with the syndicate when we get through. More money, power and land. We have to claim all the land surrounding the Carpathian mountain range. That's what we have to continue to do to keep our focus on, even as we search for our enemies. We can't afford to let the end goal out of sight. and our enemies would like nothing more than to distract us with their games. But that's not going to happen on our watch. It didn't happen last century when they came, or the century before that, or the century before that. A stronghold of land is power in itself, because we all know the war will soon be coming to a head. The fight for the motherland, the heritage, and the vampire's future lays in the secrets of the land. The cell in my pocket rings, disrupting my thoughts. I finish the last of the scotch, pushing the bill and the glass towards the barkeep as I reach for the phone. He places the money in the register and tosses the tip in the jar on the counter. Thanks, Master Botosoni. Have a good night. I give him a chin nod, heading towards the door before answering the call. This is Botosoni. I don't need to hear his voice to know why I'm getting this call, because if Overmaster Discalia's phone number shows up on your cell in the middle of a war with the rogues, you can bet your ass you're going to be involved in some way or another. Discalia clears his throat. One of the lords in Romania called me. Sheba was spotted in the forest area near you. We have confirmation he's definitely with the rogues. The growl in the pit of my stomach bubbles up before I can contain my wrath. Of all the places the shifters think they can hide, they choose my area after what they've done. They dare to bring the rogues into my region. My growl is so loud it rattles the light in the lamp above the street. I don't make idle threats, and I don't make one now. Sheba will wish he had never set foot on my land. They will rue the day that my brother was killed at the hands of one of his major shifters. I don't pretend to know how you feel and the anguish that doing nothing in 2 years to redeem your brother's death has caused you, but it was for the overall good, Botosoni. I needed to ensure we kept the peace. I promise you, though, everything has changed, my friend. I asked you to maintain the peace because Sheba promised me he'd dealt with it. Discalia's voice raises with his anger. His words no longer mean a thing. A traitor, just like the rest of the rogue shifters, leading the rogue shifters. They will all find their rightful place in hell, especially Sheba, because I plan to send him there myself. I'll do anything to help, you know that. Good, that's what I was hoping to hear. We're going to find these fuckers and end them for good. And that dirty traitor Sheba will not live to see another day. But Sheba knows that land well as we do, Botosoni. It's like they're taunting us. If they didn't want to be spotted, they wouldn't be. Luciana believes they're trying to lead us into yet another one of their traps. But I'm not going to let them go without tracking them down. I ground my frustrations. The shicey bastards are always 2 steps ahead of us. Fucking Sheba, even I never thought he would turn on us. I may not have liked him because of what his shifters did to my brother, but I thought there was mutual respect between the two of you. That's the only reason I agreed not to wage a holy fucking war on their ass. Discalia grunts. We'll get them, Botosoni, but we have to be cautious. I'm bringing in a team who have been working with us. We'll get there as soon as we're able. It may be a day or two, though. We have a few pressing loose ends to tie up here, too. There's not as much space in my current house as there will be in the new one I'm building, but it still has plenty of room for a group. You can all stay with me. It wouldn't take long, though, because if I run across the fuckers first, I will kill every single one of them barehanded, and I swear I will. Overmaster Discalia growls. Sheba is mine, Botosoni. I can't be clearer about that. A collaborator with the rogues, he will die the death of a traitor to me, at my own hands and in my own time. Are we clear? My jaw tightens. You and Sheba have kept the peace between the factions for years as a result of your respect for one another. And now he turns. You have every right to want to handle that part personally. But I, too, will see my brother avenged. I want proof that the shifter who killed him is dead, and if he isn't, I will be the one to end him. Overmaster Discalia doesn't answer for a minute, but I'm not waiting for permission because I'm not asking. Discalia clears his throat and lets my comments go. We're in Sardinia, and the journey to Romania is long. We will wait until dusk tomorrow and then travel if all goes according to plan. I pull the collar of my coat higher to ward off the wind and swirling of snow. That will give me time to get some stores in order, talk to the lords in the region, and nose around a little bit. If they were seen in the forest, my guess is they're heading to the Carpathian mountain range. If they are, we're going to need to be prepared for werewolves and witches too. The land along that entire range is going to keep coming up time and time again until we take it from those cackling witches. Iscalia sighs. Maybe Luciana is right. Maybe our journey was always leading us right back to that mountain range, to the point where all of our secrets lie, and a place we all continue to call our own and defend. But her powers of sight are great. She says that they will be hiding among us, drinking and dancing. The world swirls around me as I walk back to my car, thinking of all the nightclubs in the city. Impossible to be in them all, but the Lord can help with that. I pull up the collar of my jacket. No matter the temperature in the northeastern quadrant of Romania, Botosoni always feels damp and cold at this time of year. The engine of the solid black sports car roars to life and unlocks with the press of my finger to the remote. I get in and buckle, watching a young couple make their way into the club that I just left. He presses a hand to the woman's lower back, keeping her steady as she wobbles on the cobblestones in the 4-inch stylish heels. She turns and looks up at him with a smile underneath the lamp that causes me to keep watching. His clothes aren't designer, yet she looks at him as though he's a god. That smile alone gives me hope for humanity, the very reason we will fight to the bitter end against the rogues who would rip their throats apart just for a new and fresh source of blood. I pull out onto the street and navigate the short ride before turning off into the rural roads that wind through the hills far above the main street, allowing the guards who surround the wrought iron fence and the property an undisturbed view of anyone coming up the hill without invitation. I pull off the main road and drive up the long entrance to my property, with my thoughts on all the hottest clubs in town that any of our enemies could be hiding out in. The guard at the station comes out to talk to me. I don't need him to tell me what's wrong now. I can smell the stink of those mangy fuckers as soon as I roll down my window. I hope you enjoyed this chapter reading and that you'll go check out the book. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.